how to get your students involved in the class and participating. And I thought this was kind of interesting to point out what these different levels are. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you how to solve these problems, but I still thought it was an interesting representation of how students can be engaged in different ways and at different levels. So that's up there if you want to take a look at it. I was going to copy it for everyone, but without the color, it doesn't make much sense. So it's better to just look at it online. All right, so our warm-up today is the three-headed expert. Can I get 3 volunteers? Brave people. Carlos, thank you. Carlos, would you like to pick your partner? You can, 2 people can come up with you. Who do you want to come with you? Great, thank you, Sandra, birthday girl, and Tice. Great, come on up to the front. And I want you guys to think about, we have here a leading expert, okay? But I'm not really sure what they're experts in. Come on over here, have a seat on the table. Okay, you can all sit on it. It won't be a problem. Okay. What do we want to know more about? Questions you've always had about something. Any subject in the entire world that you want to learn more about.
American football.
American football. So we have here Dr. Sandra Tice-Wagner. And you may ask any questions that you like about American football to Dr. Sandra Tice-Wagner, and they need to answer them. Now, the trick is, this is, a professor with 3 bodies, okay, but they all work together as one person, and each head only says 1 word at a time. Okay, so kind of like the 1 word at a time story we did last week, okay? Each of you will only get to say 1 word at a time, okay? If you don't know the real answer, make one up, okay? So you are talking about American football. You understand what your topic is, right? Okay, so let's open it up to the audience. What questions do you have about American football?
How many players are there in each team?
How many players are at each team?
20. In each?
20 players?
One word.
Time.
In.
Each.
20 players on each team. Thank you very much, Dr. Sandra Tice-Wagner. Another question for our expert.
Another question.
Yes, Joao.
I'd like to check it, because I realized that some days ago happened a very important event about American football. And I'd like to know what happened and who was the winner.
Could you please tell us who won the Super Bowl?
Seahawks.
Won the
Super Bowl.
How about, clearly, these people know everything there is to know about American football. How about a more challenging question? Yes.
What's the most popular football team here in America?
What's the most popular football team in the United States?
Nowadays.
Each?
team. Each.
It.
Sorry. It is. Well, each. Sorry.
Nowadays, it is. There's no correct answer.
Not the name.
49ers.
Team.
And why are they so popular?
Because? The 40
Niners.
Niners are
Very.
Very.
popular, fast.
Fast, very fast. Okay, one more. We can get one more question for these experts. Your time is very
Can I
fast.
sing? Biggest stadium.
What's the largest stadium? How many people does it contain?
Around.
One, 100, 200, 300. How many? I don't know. 1,000 people.
That's too many words. You get one word. Around.
300.
300,000.
Oh, that's
People.
very big. Thank you very much for your time. You may choose someone to replace you. I want 3 more people. We'll do one more round. All right, Joelle's going to volunteer. Thank you. Who else? All right, Carla? One more? All right, Giovanni. Okay, and what would you like them to be experts in?
Music.
You know, the group in summer did that to the music. We're going to post this on the internet, so let's, another idea, even though that was very funny. What was music? Okay, they're experts in music, all right? So you may ask them anything you like about music. Who would like to start with our first question?
Who is the most popular singer? In the U.S.
In the U.S., ma'am? This year?
In U.S. is
The
very nice.
that.
Oh, I think things. What's the last word?
In the U.S., it is very nice that sings.
No, it's very nice that we
Okay.
love
When
people choose. Say it.
but
But,
well, Michael Jackson
is
was very
is
well nowadays.
remembered.
okay, that was interesting. You know, it's always funny when people don't always know the answer. They try to put off actually including information, and you just get these long strings of words that aren't really saying anything. Let's try another question for the music experts.
Okay, there's
Be careful what you're going to say.
Remember the bat?
we had the chance to listen to some radio stations around, and maybe one while we were going to Wilmington, yes. And which group do you think is the most popular nowadays?
Well,
The music band, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
The
Okay.
most
popular.
group is
The
can I get this one?
You can say whatever you want to. It doesn't
Guardians.
The?
Guardians. Yes, I invented.
The Guardian. Oh, it's made up. The Guardians. Oh, the Guardians.
I don't
Okay, the
know.
Guardians. Oh. They're so cool you haven't even heard of them yet. That's
Yeah.
how cool the Guardians are.
But fine. Fine.
You're done? Okay. One more question for the music expert.
Which Brazilian song do they like to hear? To listen
The.
Brazilian. Rock.
Band.
Band. Is
Titãs.
Titãs.
Okay, good. All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh no.
So you have to think not only about what, you can limit how long the sentences should be, but the audience kind of stays involved because they suggest the topics, and it's usually fairly entertaining. All right, so moving on today, you have your second observation presentation, okay? So I'll give you a minute or two just to pull your thoughts together. You're going to divide again into 7 groups of 4, just like last time, and I would like you to sit with people you did not observe with, so you can hear about different classrooms and what happened in different classrooms again. You'll each get 5 minutes to discuss your observations and report on the questions and whatever tasks you saw that you liked. So if the teacher did something you found particularly useful or interesting, please share that. This time you're not each going to have a role. Just assign one person to be the timekeeper to keep an eye on how long the person is talking, because we do still want to stick to around 5 minutes, okay? You're going to have the peer observation sheets again, okay? These are not going to factor into the grade at all this time. They're just for my information purposes. But I am going to try, since these aren't going into the grades, I am going to return these to you this time. So please try to give comments that would be helpful for the person as they go into the final presentation. So if they need to improve their notes or what have you, give them that kind of feedback so they can work on that before the next one, okay? So please go ahead and arrange yourselves into 7 groups of 4. Just put your desks together into a little circle. Groups of 4, yeah, so 4 people per group, that's it. Because any more is too big. Okay?
About the association class. We're having problems to finish listening class. Probably Michael talked to you about it. No, because Scott is our teacher, our professor for fields.
Yeah, talk to Michael because I don't control the observations at all. So just go through my notes because the teachers are supposed to let you know.
Yeah, but we have to present to you, don't we? We have to present to you, don't we?
You're not presenting on the next group of observations.
No.
She did it today. That's what she did. Okay, great. Thank you. She was on. Yeah, she just talked. Yeah, they'll have to, I think there will have to be 2 groups of 5, maybe. Okay, you just rearrange as necessary because we're missing one person today. especially for the groups of 5. That's going to be important, so we stay on track.
We're going to take a walk and listen and see what they're talking about.
They were different observations. Georgia, I would say, she put questions on yes or no, asking questions on did you have a good time and make students speak with each other, their work. And William Graham, first of all, he explained it, the grammar, and then gave them a discussion for them to answer these kind of questions, mixed with their
Present perfect, you mean?
present perfect. So both gave them different types of formulate expression, but they can also talk very freely. The classes are very focused on meaning and understanding too. I observed that the teachers, they check for understanding using definitions, using examples, synonyms, asking students to answer questions for them to practice that new vocabulary or grammar part. And they are always engaged in producing something, even in listening quizzes or writing something. Okay. About the input, I could observe that they are very exposed to the input.
He speaks in a low voice, and sometimes the student speaks in a loud voice. You know, I think he didn't control very much, but very dynamic. They are very dynamic all the time. They don't give the chance to students to talk or to get the cell phone. They're very dynamic, reading, writing, listening all the time, and they mix many methods and approaches. And the only one that I didn't notice was translation, but he didn't know translation. But because they can't.
Yes, I saw. Yes, as I told you, this was more because all the time the teacher was pushing them to talk and talk and talk. And describe in level 2 was very good. In this case, this range.
Nothing after so
Record to work listening, and they were answering her questions. She worked all the abilities in one class. She worked listening, speaking, and she cared about the homework too, and she told them how was the importance of the homework, but all in a lovely way to speak. She's very
The teacher was Rachel Silver, and she is a lady. And as a
students in the classroom, and we had to see and I'm not sure, but I have read the book, and it is foster language learners, because he tried to get from the students what do you know about these words, the more, the matters, and to contextualize. So I thought it was really interesting, because the students, they are now, basic
level, and they try to remember the vocabulary to understand the sentence that he started the class, because he was so surprised, so a lot of new students in the class. I like
Those 12 because she made them form groups. One group had to form sentences, and the other group had to spell the words and learn the phonetics of the alphabet. But at through class, I could observe that both of them were very organized. They had a plan on the board so that the students could be responsible, share the responsibility with him. And for the warm-up, he asked the students to talk in pairs about their weekend. And he used the time to a chronometer for each speaker. Then he had mistakes, and she read the test all the time alone. She didn't ask any time for the students to read. As we say, Fulano, can you read this paragraph? Alice, can you read the other? She didn't answer. She read all the time along the test. She answered the questions. She didn't give time for the students to answer or to try to guess why or which are their mistakes. She did everything for them.
Which level was she?
I think 2. But she didn't level 2, no, level 3. This was, and she didn't give time for the students to try to answer. She answered for them. Don't speak to her.
To speak, but she would give instructions and the students only listen and to practice. She also had difficulties explaining words and vocabularies that were not clear for the students, and to help make the vocabulary clear, the student asked her permission to translate in their native language. On the other hand, the listening and speaking teacher, she created many situations, very activities, and she asked that she was simple best.
Okay. So I think we've heard a couple different ideas, but for now we'll turn this off until we get the group presentations.